Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Where the 99 Lead, a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville. We discuss many different topics surrounding the university. Students, faculty, administration, coaches, all those have been a part of this program. And of course, Where the 99 Lead refers to the historic 99 steps that lead to the University of Pikeville campus, but also lead from campus back into the community and into the world. Into the world indeed today. We talk international, and students joining us today that have recently been a part of a mission trip to Haiti. Tori Breeding, UPike student, returning student to the show. Tori, for those that are tuned in that do not know you, their first time meeting you, let's hear a little of your background.
Well, Andrew, it is great to be back. I'm a junior here at the university. I do a lot of mission trips with Rob. I'm the president of the university speech team. You can always find me in the chapel or in the Calm Learning Lab on the 4th floor of Arlington.
Very good. And let's talk about your background. Where do you come from?
I'm from Knott County, Kentucky, a very small town. Grew up there my whole life.
The elk capital of the world.
Yep, and that is not a joke.
No, they're everywhere. A large animal. Tori, great to have you back. We want to hear about the most recent trip to Haiti, but you bring with you Hannah Absher, UPike student. Hannah, tell us about you. Where do you come from?
I come from Columbia, Kentucky. It's about 4 hours west of here, South Central Kentucky, real small town. It's where Lindsey Wilson College is. Yeah, so it's...
What's your major?
Business with an emphasis in sports management.
Very good. What brought you to UPike?
Softball. I play softball here at UPike.
Very good.
Yeah.
And of course, both part of a group of students that have made the annual trek to Jacmel, Haiti to work with Praying Pelican Ministries. Tori, let's first talk about the group's mission in Haiti and the mission trips.
The university's mission is to bring education to the small town of, or the small country of Haiti, especially in Jacmel. I think we've always done our work there. We've built 2 schools, working on a trade school, and we also teach children about God and Christ and in children's ministry.
Very good. For those that are tuned in that have no idea the type of community that you visit, talk about the conditions, the living conditions that they live in. Do they have subdivisions like we have? Do they have brick homes? Talk about the type of housing they have. And let's try to paint a picture of the community there and the differences between here and there.
So in the place that we were, Manze Marie, their houses can be made of stone. It can be like aluminum, like tin. Some houses are made of wood. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of concrete that they sift and mix by hand.
Right.
You don't see subdivisions, brick houses. Everyone lives in a really small community circled around the church.
Sure.
And the community is amazing. It's so close-knit. Everyone pretty much lives together, even if they live 4 miles up a hill.
Right, right. Very rural area, and certainly a need. Therefore, the reason for the mission trip. Hannah, your first time being a part of the mission trip. Why did you want to be a part of this trip and this ministry?
Well, my brother, he actually does a lot of mission work, and he's been a big inspiration to me. And I recently did like a mission week back at home that's in my community, and I kind of wanted to expand that and kind of just see like what the Lord wants me to do, and I wanted to try out this mission trip with Rob and everything. So that's kind of why I decided to go to Haiti.
Will you do it again?
Absolutely.
Okay. So it left a great impression.
Very much so.
On you. We'll talk more about that as we go today, but I was going to let you go ahead and leave if you didn't leave a great impression. I had a feeling I knew the answer. Tori, let's talk about this trip, how it compared. You'd been there before, so you had built some very realistic expectations of what you might run into. Let's talk about how this trip met your expectations or maybe was different than your expectations.
So before going to Haiti, you get like America's picture of it. You think it's a dirty, rundown, really sad, poverty-ridden community.
Sure.
And that's almost like half true. but it is beautiful. All the people are so amazing, and I didn't expect that going into it last year, and then this year had been a year, so I fell back into how regular people think of it, and it's always breathtaking. No matter how many times you're there, you'll forget the little things and remember them when you come back, and everything kind of comes back to you. And I mean, sure, it's a poor country,
Right.
but the people are rich in happiness and love and community and passion for God and Christ and each other.
Yeah. How do they receive the group of students, the group that comes with the mission trip?
Most Haitians love it when Americans show up to help their community. I'm sure there are some that they feel a little less great about it, but seeing the work that we do there, it changes their perspective about us too.
Talk about community and being very close-knit. You talk about working with children. They leave an impression on you as well.
Oh yeah, the children are the best part about being there. You can't really understand them, and they can't really understand you, but they'll try. They try really, really hard to understand you, and they'll try to teach you things. The children have probably taught me most of the words that I know in Creole, in their language, and they're just so open and loving, and they'll show you the same love that they show the friends and families that they've grown up with their entire lives.
Sure. Do you encounter children that you had seen maybe last year in the mission trip? And do they remember you? Do you remember them?
I remember them all. Rob taught me that if you write down their names in a journal, you'll remember them the next time you're there. So you can put a face to the name. And we worked in the same community. We stayed at the same church, so all the children are mostly the same. There were a couple new ones and a couple that didn't come back because they were older and going to school and helping out around the house. One family had a new baby while we were there, so one of the children that were there last year had to stay home and take care of her baby sister instead of coming to vacation Bible school.
Right. Very good. And Hannah, you had a chance to work with these children as well. You had done mission work.
Yes.
Back home.
Yes.
Yeah. How was this different? How was it similar to the experience at home?
Different. It was, I feel like the Haitians are a lot more grateful. Like, as Americans, you know, we take a lot of things for granted. And when you go to Haiti and you help out these people, like, they are just so appreciative of our help and stuff. And I'm not saying back at home they aren't grateful, because they absolutely are, but it's just a different kind of environment. It's just like, it's crazy to go from your hometown to a different country and just see how different it really is.
Yeah. Students from UPike have traveled on both domestic and international mission trips in the past, but there's something special about this trip to Haiti. I've talked with students for so many years that have been a part of this trip, and they always bring a unique perspective while visiting the same community, talking to students from UPike that aren't that different from one another, but they always bring back a different perspective, a way that it's touched you. UPike, of course, committed to bringing education to the children and to the mountains in that community in Haiti. Let's talk about that, Hannah. Let's talk about UPike's commitment to education in that community. Tell us what's going on there.
Well, like as you said earlier, or Tori said that we built 2 schools, or well, they built, and then they're working on a trade school now, and their dedication to education is amazing there. Like, they walk 30 minutes up a mountain every single day to go to school, so it's just it makes it a lot easier to like focus on education there, like to help them with education, because seeing how much they want to be educated, like, that is a big focus down there, and it's amazing to be able to help them out.
Dedicated.
And, I mean, absolutely dedicated.
Let's talk about, for those that are tuned in that have never visited there, maybe never will visit there, let's talk about when you describe a school, and a school that has been built by mission trips in years past and continuing to build. Let's describe that. What is that like? You just got your first look at it.
It is a lot different than expected. It's very small. I mean, it's got a lot of, holes and cracks. If it rains, the water's going to come in, and there's not a bathroom out there. You got to go behind the behind the school and just like a little hole in the ground. It's almost unexplainable because it's like not what you expect. It's like I don't really have words for it.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see like what they can get out of that school.
As many of us think back to days that we've heard about one-room schools, small community schools, to where all grades were taught in the same setting. Is it something much like that? Just a small.
Absolutely.
How many students per school?
About 150. Is that what Rob said, Tori? Per school.
So it's not going out and building the next Knott County Central High School, anything like that, or the modern schools that we have in our community. But truly, it's just a community center that is used for education, and of course they understand how important that is. Working to build a trade school. Tell us about that.
Well, their trade school is right behind the church, and when we first got to started working on it, the whole floor of it was just rocks. And by the end of the first day, we had a whole concrete floor on the bottom of it. So that was really awesome. So, like help, because that's more for like the basket weaving and that kind of stuff that they like to do that the pastor will be teaching there.
Sure.
So it's really cool to be able to get that together, and for the ones that can't like hike up the hill and do that kind of education, they'll still be able to get a job with the stuff they're learning here
Right.
at
Very
the
good.
trade school.
Talking with Tori Breeding and Hannah Absher, UPike students, fresh from a mission trip to Haiti and serving with Praying Pelican Ministries. And Tori, during your trip to Haiti, the UPike mission team worked on an elementary school and the trade school for the community. Let's talk about how the group worked to improve structures. We've heard about the concrete floor that was improved in a day. Let's talk about some more of your work.
So, building a school or any building in Haiti is a lot of carrying rocks. Big rocks. They call them grow wash in Creole. My least favorite word in the Creole language.
Grow wash.
Grow wash. Last year building the school, we had to go into the jungle of Haiti, carry these giant rocks, sometimes with spiders and ants in them, to the school. But this year they had piles of rocks that we just carried in buckets back from in front of the church to behind the church. And once you sift those rocks out, you get smaller rocks, and then you sift those again to get fine sand.
Yeah.
And that's what they use to make their concrete.
Right. So they don't have a concrete mixer truck that shows up on scene, pumps the concrete, and it's a very. So you talk about concreting a floor to a school building in a day. There's a lot of work that has gone into that, into their process. Do you know anything about concrete here in our area that comes out of a concrete mixing truck? I imagine concrete that they're making out of this sifted sand is a little different than the concrete that we see here.
Absolutely. Yep. My dad, he actually works in concrete back at home, so I was like, I thought maybe I knew something about
Sure.
it. And I got around the Haitians, and they're carrying rocks and sifting sand and mixing it on the ground. I was like, I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know a thing.
Yeah, a little tougher to come by.
Absolutely.
And construction is a little more difficult in Haiti than in our area. Of course, as we think about the mission trip, the schools, too small to accommodate the children in the rural area, let's talk about some other issues, some other challenges that teachers face. Hannah, from you, what are some of the issues that teachers there face?
They don't have very many supplies, if any at all, and it's wherever you are, it's a pretty good little walk. Whether you're walking up the hill, down the hill, it's hard to get access to get to the school. I mean, that walk up the mountain is unreal. It's painful, and then the teachers there are mostly volunteer. They don't get paid, or if they do get paid, they don't get paid very much.
Right.
So that's a big struggle.
Textbooks, those type of supplies, what do they have to teach, or is it just a teacher? Do they have a chalkboard? Do they have, of course we have digital now, we've got projectors and things like that. What type of supplies do they have with that? Do they have textbooks?
I don't believe they have textbooks. I never seen any while they were up there, but I know they do have the chalkboards in the school.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they don't have a lot of desks. Like they don't have desks for every student, or even benches for every student.
Wow. And there are 100, 150 students there in the school. Of course, little or no pay, tough circumstances. Who wants that job?
Exactly.
Who wants that job? And because of that, there's a high turnover rate.
Yes, absolutely.
With teachers as well. Educational needs of a student in Haiti. Do they attend school, kindergarten through 12? Do they? We're assuming this is a community school, much like our elementary schools. Do they attend school through 8th grade, through that age group? Do they attend through high school? Tell us about that.
I know they attend a high school that is like the older kids go up on the hill, and for each student it's about $20 for a year at school, which doesn't sound like a lot, but
Right.
that's a lot in Haiti, especially for families with more than one child, because that's $20-$40 every year that you're having to pay just for your child to go to
Sure.
school, which is it's hard on them.
It's significant money.
Yes, absolutely.
In that country. And what if they don't have the money? What if they can't afford it?
Tori, do you know much about that? I'm not sure what. I mean, I guess they just don't go to school.
Right.
Yeah, some won't go to school. Maybe sometimes the church or someone else in the community
Right.
will help.
Sure. It's something that we take for granted,
Absolutely.
and something that they appreciate very much, and a significant expense on the part of those families. Tori, you've talked about Vacation Bible School being a part of the mission. Children's ministry is always a special part of the mission. Tell us about that.
In children's ministry, Rob will tell the Bible story in English, and then someone, usually our friend James, who works with Praying Pelican, he will translate the story, and us students will act out the story as James is saying it in their language.
Uh-huh.
And the kids get a really big kick out of that. If you overact your part, we did a lot of flailing around and falling on the ground.
Sure.
And they love it.
Yeah. Vacation Bible School, we all have an image of that, what it's like here. You've got cookies, you've got Kool-Aid, you've got a story, you've got an activity time, what have you. Typical Vacation Bible School growing up in the mountains of eastern Kentucky. As you take Vacation Bible School to the community in Haiti, describe what a typical day would be like.
We open up, getting all the children gathered around. We'll play games for a little while. They love soccer. One day we did face painting, and I did not paint on a lot of faces, but a lot of Haitian girls painted all over my arms, and that was really fun. And then we gather them around and tell them the story.
Sure.
And after, we do 1 or 2 small crafts, which is always really hectic because you can't understand them, they can't understand you.
Right.
But it ends up going really well. Our last night there, we gave them all inflatable swords.
Oh.
And I still have bruises.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was so much fun just to be able to share that love with them. And there may not be cookies and Kool-Aid, but there's enough love to go around.
Sure, absolutely. What's it like to work alongside your friends, knowing the type of impact that your work will leave on the community?
This year, I went to Haiti knowing 4 people, and it was a group of 11 of us.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect all of us to get so close.
Sure.
Last year's group wasn't extremely close, not like this group is. I talked to people that I never, ever thought I would talk to, and they came out to be some of my closest friends, like Hannah, for example.
Right.
She's probably one of my favorites that came out of this trip. And someone that I wouldn't normally talk to on campus.
Sure.
And being able to make these close friendships and relationships that are going to last for the rest of our lives, while knowing that we made such a great impact on this little community, that made it worthwhile and amazing.
Sure. Hannah, Tori talks about meeting people from UPike. It's not a huge campus.
No.
Kind of a smallish campus, but still a campus that will run in cliques, certain interests, certain majors. Clique may not be the best word, but small groups.
Yeah.
And now on a trip like this, people you aren't close with, before this trip, coming together, a common goal in mind, this mission trip. You're forced into smaller, tighter situations, but growing close to these people and making new friends because of that common goal. Is this something you expected?
Absolutely not. I was kind of like Tori. I didn't know many people going on this trip. I didn't really know anybody well at all. I mean,
Right.
I had a friend, Chris, that I knew pretty well, but that was about it. And it was just almost instantly, like, we all got pretty close, and we were all hanging out every night. You know, it was just like nobody didn't dislike anybody else, and like we're still so close. Like we
Yeah.
have our little like a group message going on, and we're all trying to hang out soon. So it's awesome.
Shared experiences.
Yes, absolutely.
And things that you'll take with you for the rest of your life. Hannah, first trip internationally to Haiti on a mission trip. Any plans to return to either Haiti or on other mission trips in the future?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to. I almost thought about doing it this summer, working with praying pelicans, but I don't think that's going to work out for me. And hopefully, sometime in the future, I'll be able to work and keep going internationally to different places. But Haiti will definitely be, like, have a special place in my heart where
Sure.
it's the first place and it's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So I will definitely be back to Haiti.
Tori, what about you?
I already have plans to go on the spring break mission trip to Denver with Rob.
Okay, let's talk about that for just a moment. Spring break mission trip, you're going where?
We're going to Denver, Colorado.
And what's the mission there?
I think we're going to work with the Door community again. They worked with them in Georgia, Alabama. I don't remember.
Okay.
Some nice warm country,
Yeah.
state, long day. And I don't really know exactly what we're going to be doing. Rob hasn't put out a whole lot of information, but it's a week-long trip during spring break. Cold, nice, out of Kentucky.
But still, it's a domestic trip, and you anticipate at least more English-speaking folks as well.
Definitely.
Language a barrier in Haiti. You mentioned that their language Creole, and you have a translator. Obviously, you can deal with that. But how difficult is that to overcome on a mission trip in Haiti? Hannah, we'll go to someone from South Central Kentucky first, okay? We all have our own dialects
Yeah.
and our own certain twangs about us, but how difficult was language to overcome for you?
I think that was probably the hardest thing for me because I fell in love with these kids and I just wanted to be able to talk to them and help them, but I had no idea what they were saying, and
Sure.
then like I couldn't run to the translator every word.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they saying? So
Yeah.
it was just like hearing them ramble on about who knows what, and that was really hard. But eventually, you kind of like they start pointing at stuff and like you figure some stuff out. So
You find some nonverbal
Yeah.
ways to communicate.
yeah.
Very good. Obviously, we talk about this every time because whether it's domestic or international, there are always food differences. And I get chuckles from the guest regardless when we talk about food because there's always a funny story to tell, something that's liked, something that's disliked, something that's very unusual. And Tori, first from you, let's talk about some food experiences.
Well, this year I didn't get to eat a whole lot of Haitian food because I got really sick the first couple of days. So I ate a lot of crackers and Cheez-Its and a lot of water and Pedialyte. But my favorite food in Haiti is the chicken. Like chicken legs or chicken wings every day. And they have really good sauces to put on it. And
Right.
there's always rice and there's always beans, and those are always fantastic. And fresh juice, mango juice, and then fresh bananas.
Sure.
It's all amazing.
Very good. Hannah?
Well, everybody kind of got tickled with me because I was really excited to eat every day.
Right.
I'm a really picky eater, so I was really nervous going to Haiti, but I was just really excited, and I found my favorite word in Creole. It's manger après, which means food is ready. That was always my favorite word to hear. But I struggle with some of the foods. Like, it was all really good, but it just wasn't my type of food. Like Tori said, the chicken was amazing and very fresh. And then they also have like spaghetti and hot dogs that they mix together, and that is absolutely amazing.
Okay.
But yeah, it was definitely different. I don't think I could eat Haitian food all the time, but it was an experience, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Certainly it's different than what we deal with here. It's not Chick-fil-A.
It's definitely not Chick-fil-A.
It's not Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, of course, one of our favorites. of course, we talk about plans to serve on future mission trips. This seems to be a part of your life. Tori, this is your second trip to Haiti. You're heading to another trip on spring break. Is this something that's become a part of your life?
Yeah, my second semester, my freshman year here, I went with Rob and a couple of my friends to just an overnight retreat in West Virginia.
Uh-huh.
And after that, I went to Washington, D.C., and then North Dakota in the spring,
Yeah.
and Haiti in January, of course, and then Philadelphia last fall, and then Haiti again, and then
Yeah.
in the spring back to Denver.
What are your plans for the future?
To keep going on mission trips with Rob. I'm a psychology major
Right.
and communications, so I really, really want to help people and communicate with them.
Mm-hmm.
So traveling is a big thing in that. Going around the world to help people is my dream.
Sure. Hannah, how about you? What's up for you down the road, your future plans?
I haven't quite figured that out yet. I really love sports. I really love softball, and where I'm a business major with like the sports management emphasis, I always wanted to do something with softball. But Rob kind of brought to my attention about like an entrepreneurship class here at Pikeville, so I think I might try that out. And hopefully, like, I've just recently started thinking about something I can do to help Haiti, like figure out something here or a way to just help them. So somewhere along the line, I would love to go back to Haiti and help out.
I've heard many different stories about the kids in Haiti and how they love soccer.
Yes.
Do they know softball?
They do not really. We were at one point we were throwing up rocks and hitting them with a stick, and it was just like that. They had no interest. They were over playing with their soccer balls.
Sure.
They didn't care about softball, baseball, or even basketball. It was all soccer for
Everything
them.
with the feet.
Yep.
Everything with the feet, but they do love that. Hannah, if someone would like to be involved with mission work at UPike or learn more about UPike's mission in Haiti, how can they contact Spiritual Life?
Our chaplain, Rob Music, he's awesome. He's the best person to talk to, and he can hook you up in many different ways.
He is indeed, and what a great part of the University of Pikeville community. Ladies, as are you. Hannah Absher and Tori Breeding, UPike students, thanks so much for being with us. If you'd like to reach Rob Music and the Spiritual Life office, the number 218-5762. Ladies, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so
Best
much.
of luck to you in the future. Thanks for what you do with the mission work. You've been tuned to Where the 99 Lead, a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, the leading university of Central Appalachia.